Thanks for tuning into the Freeform podcast, where we are all about dreaming bigger, dreaming better, and dreaming more often. I'm your host, Efa Mboto, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about the art of momentum. Thanks for checking out the Freeform podcast. Again, I am your host, Efa Mboto, and I am super excited about today's episode because we are going to start talking about the art of momentum. Now, The Art of Momentum is an ebook that I wrote. It's a free book. It's on my website, efamboto.com. So if you want to check it out, you can go download it from there and read it. It's a very short read, and it's really, really helpful for people, especially dreamers who are trying to really find momentum in their dream or move something forward. So it's The Art of Momentum, how to get anything from zero to moving. Now, in that ebook, I talk about this analogy of a roller coaster, and there's different parts and different elements to that roller coaster. Over the next few episodes, we're going to dive deeper into each of those elements, but today I just want to break out the analogy and kind of go over it at a high level overview with you all, so that way you can kind of understand it for the following episodes. So let's talk about it. The roller coaster is, to me, thrilling. It's exciting. It's not that way for everybody, so I get it. So if you don't like roller coasters, it's okay. Hang on. This isn't going to be about really roller coasters and enjoying that ride from that sense. It's just an analogy, okay? So you have different parts to the roller coaster. There's the track, there's the riders, there's the harness, there's the cart, there's the chain, and there's the brakes. It's those 6 elements that we talk about through this analogy. So the track is really, again, what everything goes on. It's really what is the leading driving force of how that roller coaster plays out, how that ride actually goes. Then you have the riders. The riders are going to be the people who are along on the journey with you, the ones who are actually waiting with you in line. They're going with you. They're going through challenges with you. Those are going to be the riders. Then we have the cart. The cart is going to be what those riders are sitting in, where they're seated, where they're positioned in your life or in your business or in your idea, kind of where they fit. Then you have the chain. The chain is what's going to actually carry that cart up and along the track, and at different points is going to help you kind of get over some hills or push faster past some things. Then you also have the harness. The harness is what locks everybody in. It's what keeps you embedded and laid into that cart. It's what keeps you secure. It's what makes you feel safe, and also what helps you enjoy the ride. And lastly, you have the brakes. The brakes are those moments, those stops, those pauses, where it's really actually created to help keep the cart on the tracks. It's there to keep everything from really just going all willy-nilly and flying all over the place. And so that's really the analogy that we dive deeper into, because momentum is really, it's gained, it's maintained, and it needs to be constrained. And this is all that I talk about in the ebook, is this whole idea, this whole concept. We dive really deep into it. And so why a roller coaster, right? Well, in a dream, when you have a dream, you have that dream first. And then it kind of starts to become clear to you. The track kind of gets laid out. And so the high level thought of this is the track is like the business or the industry or the idea that you're going to have, right? That you're going to go into. And sometimes that track is kind of clearly laid out. You know, it's already formed. It's already kind of there. But again, coming back to the Freeform podcast and the reason why we're doing Freeform, you can have a unique experience on that track. Just because you're having the same dream that somebody else is dreaming about doesn't mean that you exactly have to experience it the way that they experienced it. Your path can be unique. Now, it's already laid out. It's already there, right? So you're not really creating something new under the sun, but it is unique to you, and it can be. And then the people who come along with you on that ride, they're going to go and wait. and be with you through challenges, through ups and downs. They're going to experience what you experience. Maybe not at the same time, right? If you're like me, you ride in the front of the roller coaster. So the people who are in the back, they're not going to experience everything at the exact same time that you experience it, but they'll get there. They'll feel it, right? So the riders are those who are committed to actually getting on the journey with you. And then those riders are going to select carts, or they need to be placed in carts. A lot of times, when you go ride a roller coaster in real life, you kind of pick where you want to go on the cart. But in this scenario, you really position those people so that way they experience the fullness of that ride. If somebody wants to ride up front right next to you, hands high, experiencing every drop and every turn and everything at the beginning, then put that person in the cart at the beginning. Put them at the top and let them experience that. If you know that there's more people who kind of want to just hold on, know that it's coming, know what's about to happen because they hear the people in front of them screaming first and they're getting ready for it and needing to prepare themselves, needing to sort of build themselves up for that, then you need to put them further back in the cart. Now, this is not a level of access or a level of hierarchy in the sense of how you feel about those people. It's not like, oh, the person who's sitting in the front with me is better than the person who's sitting in the back. It's nothing like that. It's just knowing where they're going to maximize their potential and where they're going to feel the most enjoyment during the ride. Then you're going to need those chains, right? Any roller coaster has to go up that first incline at least in order to gain momentum. Now, going up is not always positive and going down is not always negative, okay? So this is not like the chain gets you up and once you get over those peaks and you start plummeting that you're on a negative spiral or downward, whatever. It's not like that. Momentum is what we're talking about here. It's not how the track is laid out. It's just the momentum that we're talking about here. So you're going to get over that first hill and you're going to go down because you need to gain momentum. Sometimes you're gaining positive momentum. Sometimes it's negative momentum. Either way, the chain is what helps you get up there. Now, in our scenario, the chain is the culture. The chain is what you actually are building into the people and the framework around you. It's how you're communicating about what it is you're doing, and it's how you're engaging those moments and what you're kind of looking to sustain. Sometimes that's behavior aspirations. Sometimes that's value-driven culture. Whatever it is in your scenario, that's what you're looking for. The next piece of the ride is going to be the harness. Now, the harness is going to be the systems or the resources that you're going to use to keep those people feeling secure. In different scenarios, it looks differently. Some businesses need CRMs and they need calling devices and they need, different computer software and different things like that. Other systems are completely run by people and understanding their job functions and their roles. This is really where you bring that clarity and you bring that sense of, okay, when you leave here today or when you finish doing what it is that you're doing, how do you know? How do you measure it? What are you measuring it against? And it's against those systems. It's against knowing, did I accomplish what I was supposed to accomplish? So those systems really help people feel secure. Nobody really wants to sit around and get paid to do nothing. Although you might think that, nobody really wants to just sit around and not do anything. There's no real fulfillment in that. There's no real joy in that. What they want to do is they want to feel accomplished. And the systems and the resources that you have in place help them feel accomplished because it's telling them, hey, your job has meaning, your job has relevance, and you know that because when you accomplish these things, you're going to feel that. And then lastly, we're going to have the brakes. Now, like any good ride, you're going to gain momentum and you're going to take turns and loops and twists and all of that. But you also need to have those pauses, those moments where you kind of slow down a little bit. So that way the train doesn't just go flying off the tracks. If you just gained momentum and you didn't have brakes, it would be dangerous. I mean, people would really be on the edge of their seats. Now, I am a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, so to me, the faster the better, right? But there might be a level where there's too fast is too fast. I'd probably hit that point too where I'd go, whoa, this feels a little bit out of control. And a lot of times that's what actually happens when people start dreaming and they start building momentum. They don't think about taking those intentional pauses or slowing down to really kind of go, whoa, what are we talking about here? What are we doing here? Let's just take a moment to kind of relax, sit back and understand it. Or, maybe you are scaling really fast and you need to have those pauses because it's like, whoa. If we go too big, too fast, we're going to fly off the tracks. Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes you're just gaining momentum. It's all internal momentum, and you just still need to reflect and go, man, this is how far we've come from, and this is really good. So that's the overall analogy. That's everything that we really talk about in the ebook. And again, we're going to dive deeper into that in more episodes. But the last thing I'll leave you with is this. With any roller coaster, nobody is expecting for that roller coaster to stop mid-loop or to stop on the drop going down or to get stuck climbing up the hill. We talk about that too. We call that the halt. The halt is something that could happen to anybody who's dreaming. Anybody who's trying to move forward can experience a halt, and they can experience a halt in any of those 6 areas that we talk about because it is very, very common. It is. It's sad to say that it's super common that people are experiencing this, where the ride ends way too soon, or it stops at a place where it's not supposed to stop. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to be dreaming and to experience a halt because you didn't consider one of these areas, because you didn't understand how to really think about the riders or how to, position people on the cart or how to build systems. And so that's why I wrote this ebook. That's why I gave it as a free resource. I really do believe that when people dream bigger, when they dream better, and then when they dream more often, that they're going to have more fulfilled lives. They're going to be happier and healthier. And that's what I'm all about. And that's what we're all about here at the Freeform Podcast. So again, The Art of Momentum, it's a free ebook. It's on my website, fmboto.com. I hope you download it. I hope you check it out. And I hope you join us for the next episodes when we're going to talk more about these different elements. So thanks for tuning in. If you would like to, if you read the ebook and you have questions or you want me to dive deeper into anything, you can send your questions to ask@efamboto.com. That's ask@efamboto.com. I'm going to be diving into questions that we've received on this podcast. We're going to answer some of those and go deeper into the content for people. So again, dream bigger, dream better, and dream more often. Why? Because the world around us is just the sum total of dreams realized. Thanks for checking out the Freeform Podcast. I'll see you on the next one.